Welcome to EPG Padasala. I am K. Mavali Rajan from Department of Ancient Indian History, Culture and Archaeology, Vishwabharati University, Santiniketan. I am going to discuss the module titled Chola Trade and Commerce, which is one of the paper in Indian culture. In these modules, I am planning to discuss some of the key factors which emerged in the Chola period in the field of the economic history of the early medieval South India. If you see the historical background of the Chola dynasty, in South Indian dynasties, the Cholas were very powerful rulers. They came to power in the middle of 9th century AD. They defeated the Pallava tributaries, Muttarayas. They captured the Tanjavur from. They established their political power in the Kaveri Delta region. So during that period, many achievements took place in political field, in cultural field, even in the social formation, economic developments. We can find the all field development during the Chola period. Because of the Chola period, which has a large number of epigraphic references as well as the literary sources to understand the details of the or comprehensive history of the Cholas in the early medieval period. My focus will be on especially on the trade and commerce of the Cholas. When we start about the Chola trade and commerce, we should study about the trade and commerce of the early medieval history of South India. In the early medieval history of South India, Chola had very good trade relation with the Indian territories of some of the other territories like Thondaimandalam region, Pandya region, the Chera region of the Kerala, even some of the other regions beyond the Ganga territory. They linked these territories with the political, the power as well as the trade connectivity of that. So here in main learning objective of that the present module, to know about the trade and commerce of the imperial Cholas, their internal trade relations, as well as the external trade activities, their industrial development, the study about the Chola port, the migration of trade and commerce, as well as the migration of the traders from one region to the another regions, from one Chola country to another the countries. I am also planning to discuss about the commercial centers, Nagaram, in detailed manner, how Nagaram developed as the independent commercial center in the early medieval period. There I am also planning to make on comprehensive note on the merchant guilds of the South India, especially how the merchant guilds under the Cholas, how they played vital role in the development of the trade and commerce of the Cholas. So that is the main motive of that bringing the ideas. Before explain the detail of the Chola trade and commerce, I would like to emphasize the significance of the study in connection with the trade and commerce of the Chola period. We find large number of the evidences, especially more number of epigraphical sources to find out the trade relation between the Cholas and other countries. So they had very close commercial relation with the marine foreign countries. Even in inland commercial center, they were very busy with the internal trade transaction, as well as the most of the port towns of the Cholas were very busy with the maritime trade activities. Through their trade relations, they exchanged the cultural ideas with the Eastern world, or with the some other, even with the Chinas, or the Persian, with the Greeks. They exchanged the cultural values with those countries. There were many roads which connected inland routes, as well as there are some many connected the important the commercial centers, as well as the many roads which connected from the important seaports to the other important the inland commercial center. There are also some of the most important the trade port which linked with the other ports of the China, the other ports of the Java, even ports of the Sri Lanka, which connecting the commercial transaction. So through their political achievements from different aspects, they defeated the Sri Lankan ruler, they established their power, even they defeated the Ganga ruler, they defeated the West Bengal ruler. When through defeating the many of the overseas countries, as well as the inland countries, they established their political supremacy, as well as the trade relation with those countries. For example, there are many, they had close commercial relation with the China, they had very close relation with the Srivijaya, they had very close relation with some of the East Asian countries of the eastern part. So in this way, especially many of the inscription of the Cholas, which speaks about the trade relations between the India and China, India and other Southeast Asian rulers. This the map, it clearly shows that the trade link of the sea trade from the Chola period towards the north eastern part of the especially Southeast Asian part of the sea routes. It simply says that the trade connectivity of that. So the foreign countries, especially of the China's, since ancient time, they involved in the maritime trade with the Cholas. They extend their influence overseas to China, as well as the Southeast Asia. The annals of the Sung dynasty of the Chinas give testimony to the maritime relations to the Chola ruler. Even the medieval travelers' accounts of Marco Polo, Alberuni, it's also testify the trade, very busy trade connection with the other countries. Even especially they had very commercial, where they had very good commercial relation with the China ruler, mainly the Sung and rulers of the China, Sailendra rulers of Srivijaya. There are some rulers of the Bhakta. They established their commercial relation with the Cholas. The Chola Mandalam and its coastal region, this coastal area, were very busy with the commercial transaction with the Chola rulers. There were many important port centers, port cities, which connected the Cholas with the other nations, mainly the Mamallapuram, Saliyur, Korkai, Kailan were important port cities which port city, they were very busy with the overseas trade with the other Chinas. This is the one of the picture which shows the Cholas navigation, how this is another picture about the anchor of the unknown Lola class of the Chola. It's discovered by the Indian army people. Is from the Pumbuhar. It was the old the commercial center as well as the coastal capital of the early Cholas. So in the trade transaction, they exported and imported the many of articles of that commercial articles. It's mainly the Cholas exported the number of articles to the countries like the China and other nations. Mainly they exported pearls, elephants, cardamom, cotton, pepper, ivory, and coal. They also some of the imported some of the item from the foreign countries. It's mainly from horses from Arabia, glassware from the Greeks, then camphor, brocades, rhino horns, perfumes, and other luxurious articles from the Persia and Sri Lanka and other the regions from the other area. So these commercial transaction was carried with China. It's very we get more number of the references to understand the commercial relation between the Cholas and the Chinas. Even the Cholas, they had sent their embassies to the China country. Even the China also they had sent their embassies to the Chola countries. Even our Arab merchant also from they went to China through the Sri Vijaya and the Chola country to emphasize that their trade relations. The Cholas they constructed their religious establishment in the form of the temple in the Cambodia, even the constructed Hindu temple in the Sri Lanka, even some of the other regions of the Southeast Asian country, which reflect their the cultural impact as well as the religious impact on the other the Southeast Asian countries. So that is the way they extended their the cultural the influence in the beyond the Chola territories of that. From Karandai copper plates of the Cholas, we get references to Suryavarman of Cambodia. He sent embassies to the Chola country. It's mainly to seek the friendship with the Chola regions. Much evidence is available to trace the cultural impact of Tamil country with the Far East. Towards the end of the 9th century, southern India had developed extensive the maritime activities as well as the commercial activities. The Sung dynasty of the China, the Sri Vijaya empire of the Malayan archipelago, and the Abbasid Caliphate at Baghdad emerged as the trading partners with the Chola ruler. The next we'll see about the migration and the trade network of the Cholas. The merchants of the Chola period often migrated to other localities, whether it is inland regions or the overseas regions. They migrated one region to other regions for their trade activities. They had strong link with the all commercial center. Mostly the commercial centers of the hinterland trade as well as the overseas trade. It's all the important the commercial centers were very much linked with the proper road facility as well as the proper sea routes. They migrated to both long distance as well as the short distance third. There are some strong evidences from the epigraphy we get Yes, in short distances, they migrated from a different region to another region. Some epigraphy says that the Cholas mostly migrated from Tiruvannamalai to Kanchipuram, Tanjavur to Tiruvayyaru, Uttarameru to Tiruvattrur. Then other important, these are the some short route they travel for their the commercial activities. In long distance migration, they migrated from Mylapore to Tiruvadai Madudur. We get it from the inscription of 10th century AD. They also migrated from Tanjavur, Tiruchirappalli, Sengalpet to long distance commercial centers. In trade activities, Tanjavur and Kanjipuram played vital role. Both the centers become very powerful political center as well as the cultural center. Both the center played vital role in the commercial transaction of the inland trade. Tanjavur inscription and Madras Museum plates give detailed picture about the commercial activities of the both commercial center, the Tanjavur and the Kanjipuram. The Chola inscriptions speaks of the many inland markets, which in inscription we get the market as in Tamil term as Angadi, which which stand for the market. Perangadi, it's a stand for big market. There are some references to Perundaru. It means a street of the commercial community. These markets area were developed within the Nagaram and is the periphery region in the core area of the Chola country. They were both, they're involved in the, as I said earlier, they involved in both internal as well as the external trade. There are many trade routes which connected the commercial centers like regions like Pudukottai, Ramanathapuram, Salem, Coimbatore lay on ancient trade route linking Karnataka, Kerala with the Tamil country. From there are many, there was trade link between the western and eastern coast of the India. The emergence of coastal towns such as Mylapore, Mamallapuram and port town Kaveripattinam and Nagapattinam, which is which indicate the coastal route between the Cholas and the other region. There were many land route connected important commercial centers. Inscriptions mentions of two classes of road in the Chola period. One is Vadi, another one Peruvali. The Vadi is a small route which is kind of the footpath which is not suitable for wheeled traffic. The Peruvali, it's mainly suitable for the traders. They used for mainly the trade purpose, which were trunk road leading from one big city to the another big city. From the Chola country, such roads were leading to other regions. Chola inscription speaks of some of the valleys, like the Peruvalis, which says that Vaduga Peruvali, which connected to the Andhra region with the Cholas. Then Kongu Peruvali connected Kongu region of the Tamil country. Tanjavur Peruvali, most important road leading to Kalyanapuram from the Chola mainland. From these roads, the merchant carried their commercial goods to distant regions which mainly connected with the trade activities. Now we discuss about the industries under the Chola period. Many industries were flourished under the Cholas. Industries like cottage industry, metal industries, sea salt industries, textile industry were developed in large number. These industry development which led for the changes in the commercial activities of the people. The cottage industry flourished extensively in the Chola period. Metalworks were also popular. They produced images and utensils in gold, silver, bronze, copper, and bronze, etc. Manufacturing of salt also was monopoly rights of the Cholas. The salt was carried on under the supervision of the Chola state. There are many salt manufacturing centers, especially Marakanam, Kanyakumari, Variyur, and other places were important salt manufacturing center. They supplied the salt to the whole Chola region. The Kanchipuram was important, the center for the textile industry. Like there were many port town of the Chola period. The Chola inscription and Tamil literature give the emphasis on the important port center as well as their international trade activities. On the basis of the available source material, we can find that the Kaveri Pattinam, which is also known as the Puhar and Puhar Pattinam, which mostly it's very popular in the first century AD. Coromandel coast was very active in maritime trade. Again, I'll tell of that. Okay. So, from the port of Chola merchants exported and imported the commercial goods. Apart from the Kaveri Pattinam, Nagapattinam was also another port town of the Cholas. The resident merchant of the port town actively engaged in commerce. Nagapattinam, commercially oriented port, had trade relation with the Southeast East Asian countries. During the Rajendra first period, it played a vital role in commercial dialogue with the kings of Srivijaya. Some other secondary port also, which is mentioned in the inscription, which is Thiruvadanai, Mailapil, Aliyur, had commercial contact with the inland trade exchange. Then another important the unit, administrative unit, as well as the a trade merchant unit, which is very popular during the Chola period, which is known as Nagaram. The Nagaram were commercial towns inhabited by a several merchant community. The inhabitant of Nagaram, variously known by Chettis, Sangarapadiyas, the Saliyas, and Tattas. The Chettis were the general merchants. They involved in all the commercial transaction of the all commercial goods. The Sangarapadiyar, those who involved in the oil merchants only. And the artisans like Saliyas, they are the weaver community. They also live in the Nagaram. The Tattas, the gold Sumit also live in Nagaram. They are involved in the making of the gold ornaments as well as the selling of the gold ornaments in the Nagaram market. Mostly Nagaram of the Chola period were identify the suffix of the Puram. Puram, which means a fortified town. Inscription speaks of many Puram, which was usually attached to the king's name as Rajendra Cholapuram, Klothunga Cholapuram, Mummudi Cholapuram. These three names which indicate the name of the kings as well as the or the Nagaram which established in the name of the Chola kings. The members of Nagaram were generally known by several names. Like the Nagaratar, Nagara Karanatar, Nagara Matthyasthas, they had large measure of control over trade settlement as well as the trade activities of other community. So the Nagaram, they had many responsibility. They functioned as the commercial town. They also involved in the collection of taxes and commercial transaction. It established rules and regulation for the merchant community. They functioned as the administrative unit of the merchant community in the Chola period. So they also are responsible for some other the activities The Nagaram, it's the most important center. There, mostly the Nagarata, they are the very prominent community of the merchant community. They live in the Chola period. They involved mostly in the inland trade activities as well as the overseas trade activities. Apart from these basic functions, the Nagaram also involved in temple financial administration. They were also custodian of the temple property. The Chola kings had close association with these merchant bodies. So, in some of the inscription, when I find that the Chola patronaged many of that their lands to the temple. They gifted their ornaments to the temple, which shows that Cholas, the merchants of the Chola countries, they were not only involved in the commercial transaction as well as the commercial activities, they also involved in the temple construction, the repair of the temple, the construction of the water tank. That is also one of the important powerful activities of the Chola merchants in the all other activities. So now we discuss about the merchant guilds of the Chola period. The merchant community of the Chola period, they had their own guild organizations. They were called in different names according to the handling the goods. The horse traders were called as chettis. Those who were involved in oil merchants, they were called as Sangarapadia. They supplied oil and ghee to the temple worship. The textile merchants were called as the Chalier. The community, those who were involved in the transaction of the agricultural product, were called as the Periyanatar. They were also known as the Chitrameli Periyanatar in some of the Chola inscriptions. The Chola inscriptions also mentions of many merchant guilds of the South India. There are many guilds flourished. The most important guilds of the Chola period was Manigramam, Nanadesi, Ayyavol, Anjuvanna Vanigar, Disai ஆயிரத்து ஐநூற்றவர், அஞ்சுவண்ணத்தார், சித்திரமேலி பெரியநாட்டார், Valanjiar, Nagarata. So these the trade merchant among these trade guilds, the best known merchant guilds were the Manigramam and Nanadesis. During the Chola period, both were very popular and powerful merchant guilds. They involved in the trade activities. They mostly in the external trade activities. The Nanadesis was the most important celebrated guild, which was prominent in both internal and overseas trade. Nanadesi were equated to Disai ஆயிரத்து ஐநூற்றவர். Here ஐநூற்றவர் stand for 500. Disai ஆயிரத்து ஐநூற்றவர், which mean for ஐநூற்றவர் of the 1000 direction, which stand for the Nanadesis. They moved different directions more than the different places. The Nanadesis had close association with the Chitrameli Periyanata, the agricultural guild of the Chola period. So the another one important, the most important, the trade guilds of the Cholas was Ayyavol, which was very popular guild in whole of South India. They had their home base at Aihole of North Karnataka. They had also their bases in Kodumbalur, in Pudukottai and Tiruchirappalli district. Ayyavol were generally referred to as the Disai ஆயிரத்து ஐநூற்றவர் in some other inscriptions. They had international trade connections mainly with the West Asian countries. The Ainutruvar was a large network of merchant organizations in and after 12th century AD. They engaged in long distance trade even across sea. As they involved in long distance trade, they needed soldiers for their production of their commercial goods. The soldiers, those who involved in the production of the commercial goods, were called in different names in the inscriptions. The Veerar, Eri Veerar, Veerakodi, Diyar, Munni. These are the some of the name of the soldiers they involved in the commercial transaction as well as the safeguard of the commercial goods. On the basis of this background of understanding the Chola trade and commerce, the most important feature of the economic history of the Chola period was that well-defined commercial organizational forms and institutional practice were current, testifying to the functioning of trade as the special economic activity. If you conclude the trade and commerce of the Cholas, they had a very good trade relation with the inland trade as well as the foreign countries. They exported many articles from India, they imported many articles from the other foreign countries. They were very busy with the political expansion as well as the commercial expansions. Through the political establishment as well as the commercial transaction, they established the influence in the inland territories as well as the overseas territories. For that, if you want furthermore references to understand fully about the trade and commerce of the Cholas, you can go through a book by K.A. Nilakanta Sastri, The Cholas, Kenneth R. Hall, Trade under the Cholas, then some of the books relating to the Chola that it will help you to understand the Chola period, especially trade and commerce of the Chola country. Thank you very much, sir.